Hey everybody, welcome to Zotian Epoch episode 4. So sorry about that ridiculous um, lateness of ours, but that was completely my fault for not checking on the computer yesterday even. Um, the server was having a lot of technical difficulties, but they have been resolved. We are in, we're live, Foundry is functioning, and we're ready to go. Um, on that note, let's play some D&D. It's the morning of after Teblion has been rescued from the dungeon that was occupied by the Old Ones. The group has managed to hike a good amount away from it while covering their tracks, and they are now um, sat around a campfire, and Leo and Teb are presently in an embrace. Teb had no idea that Leo was involved in his rescue until the morning that he woke up. He was unconscious for the most part the entire time. And the group was on the way to Baklamel, which is both Leo and Teb's hometown. Alrighty,
We have finished a long rest, you right?
Yes. This was a long rest. If you want to make sure, feel free to roll a long rest.
I think we're pretty good. I just wanted to make sure, like, if we had or not. Yeah, I guess we're just, unless anybody else says otherwise, we're just pushing the cart.
Yeah.
Okay, so the party packs up camp. The gnome and the sorcerer and the warlock are packing things up while the two Baklamel kids are chatting it up. And Teb looks like he can walk again, and so the group heads out and makes their way down the river. They're just pushing the cart, or pushing and pulling the cart next to the river.
I am Leo is loosely kind of, we'll politely use the word forcing Teb to stay in the cart and rest, because he's been through a lot.
Sure.
So, the less he does right now, the less chance he has of, injuring himself possibly further and having a psychotic break or something. I don't know.
Totally fair. Tab does walk for a little bit, just trying to stretch his legs, but he's definitely in pain, and he accepts your suggestion, and he sits on top of the bales of grain. Or bags of grain. Whatever they're called. You know.
Sacks, barrels, all the grain.
Beer.
We grabbed all.
Take the beer. You just got the grain, so yeah, just a bunch of bags. You are now at the point where you have seen, or where you're passing the bridge that this entire adventure really started in. It's up into the hills on your left, and you're approaching the cross of the river, where the water from the waterfall is coming down from your left, and the river you're walking along, they both intersect and in a Y, and there's a bit of a pond there, and the river continues westward to Baklamel.
Quick thing. Can anybody make sure to keep an eye out, make sure that we aren't followed at all or nobody else is around, etc. Just keep an eye out while I'm trying to keep this thing going as Leo's kind of pushing it.
Yeah, Guardian will keep eyes peeled for anything going on. gonna, for the most part, kind of having placed like her backpack into the cart, she'll keep an eyes peeled for anything going on. Should I make any sort of perception checks or anything, or?
If you would like, you're presently just walking next to this, we'll call it a pond. The water is flowing down the river, but it's not necessarily coming over the waterfall. It's kind of frozen up there. But it's...
That would be, be a 12 on that perception check.
Okay. Just looks like a regular old pond. Nothing special to it. There's frozen rocks around the bank. There is.
Can we fill our water skins?
Yeah,
Sorry.
go for it. There. Don't say sorry. You're here. We're playing.
There you
How dare you speak up? No, there's little bits of ice that are not completely covering the pond there, and you can walk over to the edge and grab some nice cold water. It's very fresh and tasty.
Leo will also make sure to wash some of the bandages when convenient.
Fair enough.
They would have been replaced, or Tebs would have been replaced like after he woke up.
Yeah. So Leo walks over to the edge, fills up his container, and just kind of kneels down in the snow and runs some bandages through it. The blood comes off into the water. Nothing of importance happens here. Just it's very cold.
We managed to get a good distance on them, thankfully, last night, so as long as they don't do something crazy, they shouldn't be able to catch up to us, and as long as nobody else is around, we should be fine for now.
You are 2
Not
hours.
saying we should stay, obviously. We definitely need to keep going. We're almost there, everybody.
The sooner we get back to town, the bit a bit better. Just in case they do catch up, we can at least have some backup if needed, or a good place to hide.
You know your mom's gonna be furious with you, right?
Teb looks up. Me? Maybe.
Yeah,
I don't
true.
know. He just kind of gives you a withered smile. Or a weak smile.
Oh, kinda, tap him on his shoulder lightly, don't worry, we'll get you home, bud.
He nods and just kind of slumps back into the grain. So I'm guessing the party carries on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. It's about afternoon. You have a few more hours of walking ahead of you. The group just continues to amble along the river. It's a common way of traveling around here, either taking the higher mountain road or traveling along the banks. It's a very peaceful, serene day. A bit windy, but other than that, just bright, sunny snow. The group walks into the evening, and in the distance you can start to see smoke. Not lots of smoke, but just kind of the comforting signifier of civilization. The sun is low in the sky, and you're getting very close to Bakhmil. I need to do a roll real quick, just to make sure. Bachman Mills in sight.
Nice.
Party continues on, and the mountain pass road comes down out of the hills and starts to parallel the river itself. I'm assuming the group wants to get onto that road.
Yeah, it'll be a little quicker if we get back on the road.
Okay, this will require a water crossing since you're on the right of the river. The road is parallel to the left. The river itself is about 15 foot wide and it's covered in ice. Would you like to attempt to push the cart across the river?
First, we would like to test the ice.
Smart choice. So I assume Leo walks over and does something with it?
Yeah, he'll have his staff and he'll like take a few whacks at it before stepping onto it.
Okay. Hold on. Sorry.
I was just gonna suggest throw the gnome at the ice and see what happens.
I mean, if you want, you certainly can.
I'm not gonna throw a companion at the ice to see if test it.
I only have one arm. Throwing you is just really not gonna work out right now.
It'd be a joint effort.
I'm not going to throw you at the ice to test it. If you're
There's
going
much,
if you're
there's
going
much
to,
better ways.
I'm
Yeah,
just picturing this gnome staring up at two much taller people than her, just like kind of pointing at the ice with hands on hips, like angry. Throw me.
Throw me at it.
Give me an investigation check, there, Leo.
Okie dokie. At my best.
Ooh.
It's really solid ice.
Oh, okay. He'll like go over it once, twice, like go back and forth, making sure to tap various places. Seems good. Somebody help me carry Teb. That way, we can at least take some weight out of the wagon so we can get it across quicker.
yeah, Guardian will come over and help out.
I would offer, but I am a gnome.
Fair enough.
Yeah, Guardian will help out.
That would be
Okay. Teb
That's
hops
my
out
idea.
and Guardian puts her arm around him to help keep him up.
Leo will get on the other side. I might have one arm, but I can still support one person.
Sebastian and Shearsha, I imagine you are assisting in pushing the cart along?
I suppose so.
Okay. How about the two of you give me some strength checks? And
I'm picturing one side leaning like.
yeah. She's pretty strong. She's doing a good job.
Strength check. Uh-oh.
Okay. Shearsha, give me a strength check.
Watch the gnome pass a strength check.
That's
and
what I'm
not me.
hoping for.
That's gonna be the best thing ever.
For those unable to see the rolls, Sebastian got a 2. So
Oh god. Oh my lord.
Hey, -1 strength gang, let's go!
I
Well, I
mean,
think
he's
that's
a
like
sorcerer,
just
you know.
Will I take
Source-
a stab at it and see what happens?
Please do.
Yeah, sorcerers
Right,
don't spend a
how
lot
do I
of
do
time,
this
you
again?
know,
This
lifting.
Is,
You'd be wrong about that sentiment there. There are a lot of sorcerers who could probably bench press you.
I mean, I have a mage hand for that. It's fine.
I'm going to be honest with you. I forgot how to do this.
But that's okay. Do you have your character sheet open?
Yes.
Okay. Click the strength, like just the word strength, in your attributes.
Then ability check, yeah?
Yeah.
Public roll. Normal. Yeah?
Yep. Should be normal. Okay.
Wow.
So you see this, this, relatively average-sized human, trying to push along a cart over the icy bridge. His feet are just kind of slipping out, and he's tired. He's not doing so well. The gnome to his right is just trudging along, foot stamping into the ground, and you see this tiny little 2-foot tall person pushing an entire horse-drawn cart across the wood. No problem. It's a
Can we,
sight to
can we
behold.
just say? Can we just say Sebastian would be not bothered, so he'd just be using mage hand to do it for him?
I mean, she's doing it. It's moving. If you'd like to use mage hand, you can. I understand if he's feeling a bit, disappointed in himself right now.
Just uses the mage hand as a, well, I'm helping.
Yes. Exactly.
Okay. Partway through, he just kind of gets frustrated, brings out the mage hand, and just pushes along with Del. And how does your mage hand look? Like what color? Or does it have a color?
I think it would be clear. I think it would look almost like, I don't know. I would just picture it like a gust of wind that almost with particles that almost form in the shape of a hand.
I like that. Okay, so it's kind of swirly and comes out of nowhere. Some snow sort of picks up around it. Anyway, the cart gets across, and Leo and Guardian are just taking steps slowly with Teb, and they're getting across the ice just fine. You are now both on the you're all 4 of you and Teb are all on the other side of the river and heading onto the road. As you get closer, you see dozens, if not hundreds, of buildings. They have thatch roofs. Some of them are wood construction, just straight up logs from torn down trees. Others are of stick and mud construction to keep them upright. And many chimneys are sending up smoke into the air, and you can hear just kind of the low murmur of people and civilization. This town has about 700 residents at any given time. It is one of the larger hubs in Zocheclgoth. It lays in the west of the hills, on the west coast of the main continent, and it is the first town you interact with when crossing over the mountains. This is where Teb and Leo both grew up. Welcome to Baccamo.
As we're getting closer, Leo does have his hood up and covering himself.
Okay. Doesn't want to be seen.
Yeah,
recognized,
it's inconvenient if he is.
Totally get it. Teb just kind of looks at you and shakes his head, not in disappointment, but understanding that you've probably been up to some stuff.
The Guardian's probably just taking a look around and taking in the sights.
Sure. I'm going to share the map with you in just a moment when I can get the program to work.
Once we drop off Tab and the grain, I'll show y'all to some real good spots. Lunch is on me. Dinner, lunch, same difference.
Yeah.
What about second breakfast?
Oh, there's plenty of food here. I've sent a link to the map. Let me know if it works. Otherwise, I'll just do a screenshot.
Checking now. Access
I'm also
denied?
Checking.
Access denied? Okay. I'm not going to worry about fixing that right
Yeah,
now.
access
Um,
denied.
That's okay. Thank you for letting me know. I was going to have all this sorted out before, but that's not happening today. Alright,
Are there
welcome
any
to Baklava.
unattended?
The what?
Are there any unattended loaves of bread? Like, in other words, I mean, I'm looking to steal a loaf of bread.
Ah, okay. I didn't understand what you were saying.
In other words, being a cheeky little shit.
You don't have to steal bread here. I'm sure people will give you some just fine. But to put you on the map, you're at the north end, under where the map says Baklamel. You're on that road heading into town.
It's not about the bread, it's about sending a message.
It is
Fair.
about sending a message.
Fair.
I have a plan. Every like village we go to, I steal a loaf of bread.
Interesting.
You'll be,
But-
quote unquote, stealing a loaf of free bread.
Hey, in other
Well, if I
towns,
go
it's
into
going to be a
someone's,
totally different
like,
experience.
EP,
Mhm.
I would steal their bread.
I mean, I imagine
Or just, like-
Guatemala seems a fairly generous community. I'm not sure that's necessary.
I just want to be a slight bit of an inconvenience.
You can be an inconvenience some other time, please.
Okay.
There's plenty of other ways to be an inconvenience, trust me.
I'll steal
No.
one screw from. I'll steal their 10mm. Anything that's measured in 10mm.
If you want to be an inconvenience in this town, trust me, just stick with me. I'm the
Okay.
most inconvenient
Okay.
person here.
Things like millimeters do not exist in this world, nor do
Anyway.
inches.
Ah, yes, finally, Imperial units got what they deserved.
No, there's not those either. It's more like cubits and stuff.
Ah.
if any.
Oh.
There's writing is barely a thing in Zocheclgoth, so yeah, things like math or measurement systems, yeah, not really.
Can't hear you over to send my freedom unit.
He's writing on the glory of the success.
I ran out of pepperoni.
Anyway.
I ran out of it.
Measurement.
I ate it all.
System is measurement is measured in units of pieces of weight.
Gnomes.
Things like that, or like, things people will say, it's about as wide as 2 of my fingers, or, it's about as long as my forearm. That's how people measure things here.
Ah, we're doing.
So wait.
Just lay out a bunch of
My
blades of
gnome-
grass. Like, it's this many blades of grass. And,
So my gnome would be able to be used as a measurement.
I mean,
Ish.
yeah. If you feel like,
For instance, the cart
it comes
sits about
up-
2 shears tall, something like that.
Yeah, and she pushed it.
Yeah. I'm a macho woman.
We're Leo
Towering.
is
2 feet tall.
Leo's kind of trying to have like a kind of beeline to Teb's place
Okay.
and his mom.
Yeah.
As you're walking into town, you'll take your first right after heading in. Well, you could go to the side. Okay. Well, two options for you. At the mouth of the town, the entrance, the road does continue in, and then you can take a right, and you'll be at the inn. Or you can cut across a field by the dog bridge, and head south next to the shore of head west next to the shore of the. For the map's sake, head south, not to confuse everyone. Sorry. Anyway, you can cut across through a field, or you can continue down the road. What would you like to do?
Leo would know which path is quicker, right?
Yes, it would be through the field.
That one.
Okay. So, before you pass your first building, the group turns to the right, and Leo guides everyone through a farmer's field that he's used to walking through. It's got, tracks for people to walk through, and it's all snowy anyway, so you kind of make a beeline towards the dog bridge, which goes over the river, and then head south, and there's a big old building. It's probably one of the biggest in the town. It's fairly complex. It's got multiple, it's not just a rectangle or something like that. A lot of the buildings here are longhouses or something like that with dirt floors. And you see this large wooden cabin looking place with a thatched roof, walls of wood with tall pillars in each corner holding up the extended roofline. It's a porch, for instance. The entrance sits over the river, and there's a sign there with a piece of grain and a bed, and you see vedutas, vats, and bells.
Is it a piece of grain laying in a bed
Yes, it is.
with like a weird pair of eyes that are closed that make no sense for some odd reason?
It does not have eyes. It's just a piece of grain in a bed, tucked in, cozy, all cute.
Perfect. That's all I want. I can live with that.
For sure.
Go
ahead.
Sebastian, Guardian, would you mind taking Teb in? I'll bring the Shirsha and I can bring the cart around back if that's alright with you. Just make sure that it's like in a good, safe spot.
Of course. And she'll assist with. She will assist with the moving of people in.
Shirsha and Guardian will take the cart around to the south of the building into an alley that kind of goes into a cove in between.
Leo and Shirsha.
Oh, sorry. Leo and Shirsha will go do that. My apologies.
No worries.
Hello. Kidding.
And
It's all
it's all good.
It is.
So Sebastian, Teblian, and Guardian step up onto the porch and walk in. There's actually a wood porch along here. A lot of traffic comes through here, so the investment was made. It's kind of the social hub of the place. I need to change up our music. As you open the wooden door, there's a knot tied on either side, much like you've seen before, and it swings open. There's a murmur of chatter. You see this long building with pillars along the way and a bunch of fires in the center in stone hearths, as if you will. People are sitting around benches built into the benches and small tables built into the wall of the building. The ground is gravel, a bunch of rocks, small rocks, all put together, and in the back left corner is a long wooden bar with stools around it, and you see Teb's mom, who is a tiefling, has purple hair, purple skin, and she's busy just kind of cleaning the bar and looking at different pots. Drinks are served in pots in Zocheclgoth, and yeah, she's just kind of doing her job, and there's people drinking at the tables.
I guess Sebastian was gonna go up to her and
Leo would have like told them about Teb's mom, like explained, like, you know, you'll see her, she looks like this. Just walk up, say, "Hi, we found your son. Your stuff's outside."
right. Well, yeah, Sebastian would go up and say, "Oh there. We have someone here. We think you'd be interested to see."
She just kind of looks up and startled and gasps, runs around the side of the bar and runs up to her son. Goes, "Oh my God, Teb, you're home. Thank you so much." She looks at Sebastian and Guardian. "Thank you so much, both of you. I don't know you two, but
We were with Leo.
oh, Leo boy. Okay.
Yes, he's here as well, with another friend of ours. They're outside. We did salvage some barley. They have waiting. Not sure where Leo's, so just putting it somewhere in a safe place.
Well, I'm sure they've moved to the side, but never mind that. That's wonderful, but more wonderful is that my son is alive. Teb, it's lovely to see you. The kid looks up. He's, teenager, and he says, "Hi, Mom," and they embrace, and she asks him if he wants some food, and turns to you two as well, and asks that as well.
I will take some in a moment, but I must go retrieve my pack. As she kind of goes and heads back to the cart to go retrieve her backpack.
Sebastian will also we'll say that that they'll have some in a moment, but I'll let you two have a moment first, and
Of course.
we'll
No
be
worries.
back. We'll be back. Don't worry. And
She
we
walks
go head
out
out.
to the... Go ahead.
I'll just say Sebastian will go back out and check on Leo and everyone. See how that's going.
Awesome. She walks over with her son and is just kind of looking over him, checking on him, and grabs some water for him out of a pouch behind the bar, and doing mom things, just making sure he's okay.
A little bit of fussing is allowed at this point.
Yeah, that's natural. At this point, we're gonna change perspectives over to Leo and Chirsha, who have brought the cart over to the side of the building, where there's a door that goes into another part of this building that has a bunch of large barrels and other beer-making supplies, where things are received and...
Beer?
Yeah. It
Oh,
is
hell
all
yeah.
Beer.
constituted as vats and bucks. So yeah, you're at the shipping station, and I'm guessing the other two are walking over to the cart.
Yeah, and Leo is immediately like unloading the stuff out of the cart and like putting it inside, making sure that like it gets to the spot it needs to, the warm and dry spot.
Yep, you've been in here before. You've even helped out with the harvest and making of the beer. You're pretty familiar with this. And you find the storage racks and store it over there.
All going well here.
Yep. Just unloading and bracing.
Racing.
Don't worry about it.
All right.
I'll tell y'all later if it comes up. Right now we got bigger fish to fry. Oh man, I could go for some fish.
Fish would be good.
The bar does serve fish.
Oh, it does? Okay, cool. I didn't know that. I thought we were too far inland for like good hearty fish.
It's literally right on the river.
Salmon and all.
There indeed
live in
will
the
be.
river.
There indeed will be fish to fry. No worries there.
Yeah.
I suggest we all go back to the inn and get a nice bit of fish.
Well, I mean, we're already at the inn. We're just in the back door.
Yeah,
Well,
let's go
back
get
side.
fish then.
We'll go around the front and like after we're done here. I just want to make sure all this is taken care of.
That's understandable.
Leo does make sure to like keep the stuff that we like brought with us separated from like the already present stock, so it's like if she wants to make sure to like take count of what we
You
brought
got it.
in, like the we grabbed all of the grain, grabbed whatever extras we could, and we like keep all of that to the side so that she can like check all that once she's like not busy.
Okay.
Make sure the stock count is accurate or higher, hopefully,
Fair enough.
if we're lucky.
Would you all like to head back in, or do you want to stay and explore this
I would
room
like
more?
to head back in.
Or... Okay.
Yeah.
So you all
Yeah.
head back out into... Wait, go ahead.
I was just like, yay, head back.
Oh, nice. So you all head back out into the alleyway, go around the building, out to the front, at the face of the river, and I'm guessing you all sit down at a table.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Leo has a specific corner.
All right. Would you like to
We're
describe
getting
it
the
to me?
specialty corner then.
Is it a
it
booth?
is-
Is it a table? Is it one of the ones built into the wall? Like, what are we
Does
looking
it
It
include
is-
a booster seat?
It doesn't, but we can manage one of those, I'm sure.
Yeah,
It's
please get
kinda
me a
like,
booster seat.
It's kind of like a corner, like built-in like booth section that's like it's right near the front door. If you know where I'm like, you know the kind of space that I'm talking about.
I do. Is it a booth that curves around, or is it a rectangular booth?
I think curved might be a bit too much.
Agreed.
Like, so like it would be like the rectangular kind of style.
Okay. This is, after all, your home, so I want you to have some agency with it. Leo points over to the corner and says, or indicates that it's his booth, and you all go and sit down.
Well, it's not mine. It's just the one I use the most because it's literally the most protected point in the entire place.
Yeah, I get that. So the door actually swings out like to where when it opens, it covers where you're sitting. So you would be able to, or it doesn't. So in other words, if someone was to walk into this building, you would know that they're walking in before they see you.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah.
That is pretty ingenious.
Trying to stay hidden.
It's a habit.
Certainly a cozier part of the place, I would say.
Yep, and it's even good distance from the fireplace, so it's not too warm, not too hot. It's literally just right.
It's always good. Perfect temperature.
You walk over and there is benches with, there is some padding on them. They are made of wood, but it's a basically a roughly sewn bag with a bunch of straw in it, but it is a pad. And you all sit down, and Shayna notices this and leaves Teb at the bar and starts to walk over.
We stack a few of the cushions for Sheersa, so she has a little bit of extra elevation.
I can actually like put my arms onto the table.
Yeah, it's just enough.
I can just like it's right at my chin.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
A little feet dangling.
Yep.
Just kicking her feet.
Just kind of bouncing. The Shayna notices this when she walks over, and she looks at Sheersha and says, "Well, hi there. I don't mean to impose, but would you like a booster so that the rest of your party can sit on chairs?"
We actually have booster.
Yes. Yes.
I'll be
A
right
booster
back.
seat would be amazing.
She walks over and goes into a room behind the bar and procures a rough wooden box, and it's, you know, just some planks of wood just kind of mashed together, but it makes a good little box. And she walks over and puts that down. I assume you get off the chair. She puts that down and then puts your cushion back on it, and then hands the cushion to the rest of the party, the ones that you offered up to the rest of the parties. So you all do have a seat. She clasps her hands and says, "Well, now that we're all situated, would you like something to drink or eat? It's on the house. You'd saved my son's life. I mean, in my opinion, you're always welcome here to have a meal or a bed."
What are their drink menus? Like, what are their drink options?
They have a Riverside lager that is locally brewed there. That's the name of it, as it were. And they do have water, and she does say that they have some tea left. Anything like milk is just out of stock. The cows aren't producing right now.
Baka lager.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with that lager.
She looks over at Guardian and Sebastian.
I think lager all around.
Sounds great. She leaves and
Yeah.
you're gonna say something?
Guardian. I was just gonna say Guardian would order just something simple, not gonna order a simple drink, not really any alcohol.
She brings back three two-handed sized jars. In our world, we'd call that about a pint. It's a bit bigger than that. It's a clay pot.
Do they have a mega pint?
I knew someone was gonna say that.
We'll call it a mega
I
pint.
knew someone was gonna say that.
Mega
I'll-
pint.
It's like 1 1/3, something like that.
A little
Good
bit
enough.
over a pint.
Yeah,
For Shearsha, it's a mega pint.
yeah, definitely.
100%.
Shot glass is a pint.
So she sets down these 3 like tannish clay pots with open tops and drops in a piece of reed into each of them. There are straws for you to drink from, and brings over a shorter, wider pot with some leaves in a in the water itself, and it's steaming. It's a tea for Guardian.
Yeah, there you go. Yee. Good old
Now,
tea.
Would the 4 of you like something to eat, or you just want to drink for now? Or...
Oh,
Fish.
good food. Fried fish. Fish sounds real good.
What kind of fish is it?
It's the local fish in the river. It is
Okay.
dried though. We haven't been able to get any fresh ones as we are off season, as you can tell. But we do prepare them in various ways. If you'd like,
1 second, my dogs are barking immensely, and they're gonna wake someone up. And if it's not anyone in my house, it's gonna be my neighbors, and I do not want that.
so she offers up either the dried fish as is, just salted, or she warms it up in a oven with some water and grains, and just kind of, revitalizes it a little bit.
A fish pot.
Fish pot, okay.
That's what Leo asked. Like he's just like fish pot. Sounds good.
She nods. And goes back and brings out some of these what I just described out to you. It's a you could consider it like a stew, but not very watery, if you will.
Mm.
It's just kind of a local dish.
How is her reaction to Leo just kind of sitting there like he usually does, acting all skittish like he usually does?
She is used to you being that way and has known you pretty much your whole life.
Okay.
And she's not bothered by you at all. She has seen you bandaged since your injuries, and generally has a positive and caring attitude towards you.
The player is not familiar with everybody's reaction, so he's being careful.
It's all good. Some people in the town definitely don't like you, but none of them are in the bar right now.
Yeah, when, you see Leo is eating very carefully because he has to eat with one side of his mouth.
Okay. Does it want to expose his scars? Or missing
Does it
teeth?
want a combination of not missing teeth, replaced teeth, and the scar is literally, it's not sealed. That mark on his cheek, he it's not sealed at all. It actually, when he grins, it actually splits open to make it Cheshire-like, if that makes any sense.
It does. She has not seen you do that yet.
Yeah, he is avoiding that particular instance.
Okay. Shayna just repeats that she's incredibly grateful for what you've done for her son.
Sorry about that. Back.
Welcome back. She just tells to the group she's very grateful and wants to help out, and says that she doesn't have a whole lot of gold, but if you would like to take it, you can. Otherwise, her preferred way of giving back is just to say that you all have bunks here and food and drink whenever you need it. So,
I think we'll just be satisfied with the hospitality. Yeah, the hospitality, it means a lot, and honestly, gold wasn't the priority.
She nods in gratitude.
And we'll mention a quick thing. We found the wheat and the barley and everything. It's back there, kept it separated along with some of the extra stuff we brought back. We're gonna have to talk to some people around here because it was weird, and keep an eye on him. It was rough. He had it real rough. Not my kind of rough, but if he had waited any longer, he just kind of like gestures at himself.
Understood. Well, dear, if there's anything you want to tell me about these people, I'd be happy to listen. After all, that did cause me a great scare.
Question.
I do hear a lot of things around this town. Yes?
Does Bacchanal have any kind of like library or any like record keeping or anything like that?
Sadly, we don't have anything like that. There may be some texts within the party hall, but we don't actually have a repository of books unless someone privately does, but none that I know about.
I see. Would I be able to see those?
Anyone can go to the party hall.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Much appreciated.
Once we're done here, I'll be showing them around the town.
Yeah, sorry, I'm fairly busy here. I can't exactly leave. After all, I am the only employee other than my son. So.
Yeah, don't worry. We'll be fine. Thank you. We'll probably stop by later.
Okay. I'm gonna go check on the grain. And she walks into the back room, which does have a door that leads into the storeroom through basically the supply hallways and kitchen and stuff like that. So she goes.
When they left, they would have closed it up, just so you know.
Totally fair. Cool. Yeah,
I want to
there's
make
like
sure.
a large wooden gate door thing, like, you know, a receiving dock essentially.
Yeah.
And just, you know, ancient. And she walks along into the back, and yeah, Teb is actually asleep on the bar, just kind of how he grew up.
Is.
Just face down onto the bar, arms around his face, just kind of hunched over. You've seen him there many times.
Not blame him.
He didn't even bother going to his room.
I do not blame them.
For real.
If that isn't the mood.
I have fallen asleep at my desk before, and for context, I can slap my mattress from here.
The group, what would you like to do? You're drinking, you're eating, you're just kind of resting up. What are your thoughts? You have this whole town, and yeah, taking it in right now.
Leo, you'd like to take us to, or at least me, to the party hall? I'm much interested to go check out those texts.
I would like to come along too.
I would like to stay here and drink.
Fair enough.
Try not to get too belligerent. But enjoy yourself.
That is going to be very difficult.
I would feel more comfortable if you came along with us.
I'll take one for the road. There we go. I'll take one for the road.
That's fine.
The gnome walks up to the bar and waves her hand at Shayna, who's come back, and she smiles and hands her another pot.
I almost imagine Shearsha doing like the Link holding the giant pot above his head as Shearsha's just like walking.
Standing on the bar, trying to get her attention, just jumping, flailing my arms. Like, I need another one.
No, not like.
That's how I envisioned it.
Yeah, I'm talking about when you're bringing your to-go pot.
No. Yeah. I'm just there running with it on top of, with my 2 hands on it.
It is fairly
Like
large
Link holding
in
a
comparison
bomb.
to Shearsha. It's true.
It could probably fit in the thing.
No, it's not that. It's not that big.
Oh.
Might work as a hat.
I was like, you're small, but not
Yeah.
tiny. If you were tiny, that'd be...
Yeah, that'd be different.
Well, I'm tiny compared to y'all.
Yeah, but again, there is a category smaller than small, and that's tiny, and that would be like...
Oh, yeah.
And there's
It's
also a
essentially
category
a cup.
smaller than that.
So-
Wait, what?
I was saying the pot that has the beer in it, it's essentially a cup. Like, it's just a large cup with no handles. Yeah.
I hope they know that they'll never see that pot again.
That's okay. So I'm guessing the group exits the inn.
Yeah.
As you step out into the snowy landscape, it is nighttime now. Some people have started lighting torches. You can see the river in front of you, across, like just kind of down a bit, 20-30 feet from the porch. It's frozen, but it's still pretty. And the crowd heads south into the center of the town. To your right is the town square, and to your left is more towards the entrance where you were coming. Either way is a route that can lead you to the party hall. Would you like to take a left or a right?
In a quarter mile.
Leo will take them left to show them, like, hey,
The scenic route.
that's yeah. He what he does is he goes the opposite direction and he shows them, like, hey, this is that. Like, that's the smith. That's the like. He shows them all of the places before they get to the party hall.
Ah, okay, so the long route. So
Yeah.
that would
Where
be
I
a
get
right
home.
then. Huh?
Hmm?
What are you saying?
Oh, I was making a joke about how I get home. I always take the long way.
Oh, I see. So anyway, the party heads south and then east along the road, and then into the party hall. I'm sorry, past Howard's Wares, which is the general store. It's a big building facing the town square. He's been there a very long time. It's one of the oldest buildings in Baclamel. Leo takes them even further south towards the opposite end of the town, and there is a Smolder and Smoke, owned by the Firelick sisters. This is your smith in the town, your armorer. And then he walks them kind of around the perimeter. Just a bunch of residential homes, various businesses, but for the most part, these are private homes. And he heads back left and up to the party hall, the Barrel-Off Party Hall, which is a staple in a lot of Zotian cultures and locations. These are places where people... It's sort of a free space. It's basically like, this is the property of everyone. If people need a place to stay out of the weather, they'll go to these places. It's sort of a large... Imagine a cathedral. Well, not that fancy, obviously, but like that kind of shape and size of a building. Or a high school gym, like that kind of shape.
On it.
Mm-hmm.
Just big open space. The Barrel-Off Party Hall, it does actually have a wooden floor.
That's the tragedy and comedy mask, right?
Correct. And that is
Okay.
where we- Yep. and you're standing outside. There is a board in front of it that community members put, notices there, things like that. Your bounty, Leo, was there, but a lot of the townsfolk didn't appreciate that and did take it down. But yeah.
Leo's like, huh, my poster's gone. It's an old photo.
Your poster.
Yeah, I had a poster up for a while. Back when I wasn't this fucked up, we'll politely say. Oh, and by the
Sebastian's
way,
gonna point.
if you go back that way and turn that way, that'll lead you back to the inn and all that.
Sebastian's gonna point to the board. You mean a bounty?
Yes, I had a price on my head for a
Right.
short while, apparently.
Ask Leo how much was on his head.
It wasn't much, I don't think. It was like
80 gold pieces.
that.
Owed
80
to the Guild
or
of Traveler
18?
Guard, who the townsfolk have decided that you're not necessarily guilty, so that's part of the controversy that's happening around here. Some people don't like Leo, because mainly their interest is not wanting to be in trouble with the Guild of Traveler Guard. They are a militia of sorts, a militia by hire, and technically this bounty is still legal and open.
So
It's
mercenaries.
not advertised around
They are
here.
mercenaries, yes.
They probably have an advertisement or like a posting of like, hey, Traveler Guard, visit us here.
There certainly is.
Yeah, like a cringy like musical advertisement that they do to like recruit.
Yeah, you.
Join today. Look at all these cool benefits. We're like a family.
Basically that. And you also see classifieds for lovers, misconnections, livestock for sale, random household objects.
Craigslist.
It's Craigslist.
Would any of those livestock for sale include a camel?
Sadly, it doesn't.
Oh, Sebastian is disappointed.
So
What is amidst the livestock being sold? Like, what is there?
There are chickens. There are a couple cows. There's a donkey. And that's about it. Oh, someone has a dog.
Oh. Good to know.
I will mention this. You all might want to go see the Traveler Guard. Well, I'm not around. Tell them about what we found, because, they're the whole, like, protectors of the roads and the city and yada, yada, yada. Tell them, hey, so we found a cult. It's still there. And, problems, etc. Tell them about it. They'll probably reward you for the information, I think.
I mean, it wouldn't be a bad idea to let more people know that there's a cult going on like that.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good
I'm
idea.
just not trying to spread panic, which is why I didn't tell Miss Shayna about it yet. I'll tell her that later. But, the guards are assholes, sure, but, I got one friend that works there. He's alright. Some of them are just, dick so far up their asses, they don't know what else. They're spitting wood chips.
If your wardens are having problems with the position then, why don't they move to a different profession then?
It's less that some of them have issues with the work. It's more that they're more. They're there for their protection. They're there for, like, to at least maintain some semblance of order. Some of
To
them
be
are just
clear.
assholes.
To be clear,
Go
the Guild of Traveler Guard do not actually, like, for instance, police Baklamel. They don't have any affiliation to the town. Actually, they do hold an office in the town, but they are mainly a roaming mercenary guild, and they're not there for the people's protection. I'll put it that way. Nor do they, like, in like an emergency, if there was like some sort of attack by bands of raiders or something, then yeah, they would assist, but they're not actively walking around policing people.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. I'm just bad at saying it.
It's okay. It's been a while since we've chatted about them, so it's cool.
Yeah, you guys will want to talk to them, and obviously I shouldn't be there for obvious reasons, but also don't bring up my name. But yeah, let's go in. Let's find these books that you're interested in, I guess.
Yeah, it's what they sounds good to me.
Leo starts into his whole the cripple walk.
Okay.
Not out of pity. It's more of the people who would, have a problem with him wouldn't recognize, the ones that wouldn't recognize him aren't gonna, trouble a wandering cripple.
Definitely. So you're putting on a disguise. Give me a stealth check.
Okay.
I don't mean literally putting on a disguise, but the behavior
I
is
get
a
it.
disguise. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
21.
21.
Doing the big sneaky TM.
21.
Sorry.
21.
How we're all just brain broken. It's lovely. So you open the double doors into the party hall. The floor is wooden and pitted, but the large room is warm and smells of candles, cinnamon, halfling's leaf, and fresh firewood. The walls glow with the crackling fire of the hearths. In one corner, strewn about, are dining tables and benches in a chaotic formation. Along the longest wall, next to one of the tall windows, two elderly men arm wrestle while smoking papers. Their small group of peers stands around them, betting on the situation at hand.
There's no one who, I know the probably word isn't right, but runs the party hall, the person who maintains it or whatever. I don't know what the owner isn't the right word.
Yeah, there's no owner. There is a person that tends to check on it, maintain it, make sure that nothing crazy is going on, is a mediator of, arguments and things. They're not present. It's nighttime, they've gone home.
Would Leo know where these books are?
Yes.
The collection?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Close to one of the hearths on the far end to your left, there are there's some bookshelves with random rolls of paper and trinkets and tchotchkes and things like that. They're just
almost like a lost and found.
Kind of, but more of a library. But there's not a ton there. There's only a few shelves that go along the wall there. This is a big open room. Imagine stepping into a high school gymnasium, but bring it back a few thousand years. That kind of thing.
Yeah. Leo will bring them all over. Here you go.
Right. Sebastian's gonna go. Take a look.
Okay.
Yeah, Guardian.
Um,
Guardian will go with them. Just take a look at some of the books too.
Basically, Sebastian just kind of wants to dig through everything he can, referencing, his own, notes he might have, and along with whatever texts they have, and look for any kind of either references to the old ones or any references or hints or anything to maybe some like previous civilizations or locations that might have existed in the past, or like any history or anything.
So there's just to give some perspective, there's this fireplace to the right. It's pretty large. There is a fire burning in it. In front of that are some like just kind of random cushions. They're kind of like a beanbag, just a big lumpy piece of cloth with a bunch of plant matter in there to make a cushion. There are chairs kind of strewn about. It's just sort of like a reading area, a hangout to get warm area. Sebastian walks over to some nice large shelves. There are quite a few rolls, scrolls, and tomes in there. Please give me a perception check, investigation check.
Does somebody want to assist him?
21. Okay.
That's a lot of 21s.
It is the night of the 21.
Everyone's it's good shit. Everyone's sitting around, just kind of staying warm. Shirsha's sipping at her drink there, and Sebastian, after looking for a good while, probably half hour or something, finds a book that it doesn't necessarily. He's just thumbing through things. He's not. This is like he sees titles, but nothing is mentioning the old ones or anything like that. But he's as he's leafing through one of the books, a symbol catches his eye, and it makes him pause for a second. I'm gonna send that to you.
So on Guardian's gonna look for similar stuff too, but if you don't mind, she's also going to look for information about the egg she's carrying.
Okay.
See if she can find anything.
Please do the same investigation.
Sure. 14. That's not bad.
No, not bad. You do find a roll that has a drawing of something that looks very similar to what you've been carrying, in shape anyway. And it has a draconic symbol around it. Or a draconic word. Do you speak draconic?
I do.
Good.
The joys of being a guardian of dragons.
Yeah. It says family around it, and it's just a doodle of a shape of a rock that looks a lot like what you carry, and it just has a draconic word family around it. It's just literally a scroll that someone drew, and yeah.
What kind of
Vin
place?
Diesel family.
The dragon equivalent of Vin Diesel. Others. She'll kind of place her hand kind of over it, just look down at it with a bit of a smile on her face.
Are you interested in keeping this with you?
Yes. If we're allowed to take it, she's going to keep it.
You are. So yeah, you add that to your to your inventory if you like. It's just a scroll with that description on it.
We're not. Or as the family scroll.
Sure. It gives context to something that it looks similar to you, so that's why you keep it. And you're wondering what kind of implications family means. Those gifts. So the symbol that I just sent you all, that is something that Sebastian discovers within one of the books, and under it is a text that says the old ones. There's nothing more in this book about them. It's not necessarily indicating anything about a previous civilization. It's just there's that symbol.
Would Sebastian recognize that symbol?
No.
You never by chance saw it anywhere.
Give me a history check, please.
History check. I'm good at those.
Yes, you
At
are.
least I should be.
Hopefully. All right.
19.
You have seen a symbol like this. It's the symbol of chaos, and you know it as a symbol of dark magic.
Oh.
It's not the same symbol completely. It's missing a bunch of arrows and arms. I actually need to share this to the lovely people on the stream so that they understand what the hell we're talking about. There you go. That's not zoomed in very good, but whatever. I don't care today. Anyway, it's a modified symbol of chaos.
Sebastian is gonna just be kind of pondering it, definitely looking concerned.
Do you want to take this book, tear out the page? What are your thoughts?
I mean, I think Sebastian would probably just like jot down some notes and like sketch the symbol in it really quick.
Okay. It's a fairly easy
Just
symbol to replicate, so you bring out one of your notepads and begin copying it.
Yeah, basically instead of just taking, their text, just basically kind of jotting down his own notes as he goes. His own record keeping.
Something you're very used to doing as an archaeologist. You doodle and draw things all the time in order to preserve what you're looking at, and sometimes you just can't take it, so yeah.
I mean, it would be rude, wouldn't it?
Depending.
Yeah.
You hear a random shout from the old guy's arm wrestling over there. It sounds like someone won, and the people around them are cheering, and they're just kind of like pushing each other a little bit and joking and stuff. And it looks like some people are like switching seats, and now new people are taking a turn. They're just playing.
They certainly seem to be having fun.
They tend to. I mean, this is the place for it. I mean, I can't tell you how many weddings, birthdays, coming of ages, you name it, they've done it. I mean, I'm pretty sure someone gave birth like a few years back in like that corner back over there.
The fuck?
The fuck?
She just gets up from her drink and says that.
I don't know why that is just funny. Just
Like a little spit take.
Actually points in the corner where Shirsha is sitting, like at that spot. Like, pretty sure someone gave birth over there. Oh, hey, Shirsha.
It's just me, like, sipping out with his, like, pot in a corner someone gave birth to. Gave birth in. Like,
Now pops a little full-grown gnome.
yep.
Oh no.
Certainly, it's certainly something to say the least.
This
Yeah,
town is full of wonders, Leo.
yeah, it's home. I can show you my favorite spot, but unfortunately, my favorite spot is. I mean, it's not like it's hard to get to. It's just, it's my favorite spot at a certain time.
Any
Ooh. Color me intrigued.
I'm assuming
My-
it has to be out of winter.
No, it's a sunrise. It's the best spot for a sunrise in
Yeah,
town.
It's presently, nighttime, so makes sense.
Yeah. Probably won't show it to you right now or like tomorrow or whatever, just whenever.
I was purely expecting that sentence to go. Probably not going to show it to you now. Or ever.
It's less of like the not gonna show like ever. It's more just like just not right now. We got
shit to do, people to kill. Kind of thing.
kind of thing, yeah.
Let's see. Well, maybe another time then.
Of course. Of course. We got other stuff to do.
Hmm.
That's just for your reference there.
Hmm.
So as Sebastian is just sitting here pondering, would I be able to do some check, see what exactly Sebastian might know about, like, the symbol of chaos and, like, the implications of it?
Yeah,
Minor thing I wanted to check. Are we in early winter or like midwinter or?
Mid to late winter.
Okay, so a lot of the important people have left or are leaving.
Yeah, like, people
Which
have
is-
started to leave the town in order to get back on the road. They're willing to face the weather for a little while, knowing that it's going to melt off. And various holidays have passed through. Like, it's that period of the winter where spring is approaching, but things are still snowy.
Mm-hmm. The farmers are readying the fields or starting to ready them a bit more.
Tools are
Stuff
being
like that.
sharpened, that sort of thing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just a basic farming prep.
Yeah. Pre-spring farm prep. Everyone's getting ready for spring. And that's like a month out?
Sure. Yeah.
Something like that. You're the one who keeps track of time, not me.
No, it's okay. You're just wondering where we're at. I'm with you.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah.
Sebastian wanted to make some rolls. Did you want to do some history checks on things like the symbol of chaos?
Sure. Whatever you would want. History, Arcana, I don't know.
Yeah. Let's do Arcana for this one, because you recognize that this is similar to the symbol of chaos. You have heard of the symbol of chaos. Let's do some Arcana checks.
I got a thing I want to do when convenient.
Sebastian, you're scratching your head at this. You know you've seen the implications of this symbol. You know that it means people who practice a magic that is not really known. As a sorcerer yourself, you do have knowledge in magic, and the thing is, you can't exactly remember where they source this magic from. or like you don't know much about it. You just know that they don't use the magic that you use. You do know of it as a dark magic, but you don't know what that exactly entails. And you have seen the symbol of chaos in your studies in the past. But the magic you practice in this realm, just as a reminder for people who may not know the situation, there is no connection to deities or demonic forces. You don't have any real knowledge of things like that. You don't know of things like demons. So anything that is sort of from another plane is not really in your mindset. It's not something you've seen or heard of. You're used to seeing things in the present and in the flesh.
Yeah, Leo's more proficient with monstrosities.
Yeah.
Favorite enemy.
You've
that's
seen
all
monsters. You've seen bad people. You've seen races of all kinds. You've seen magic. It's useful and functional, but not like world-breaking or involving anything that is of another place.
Could I make a roll?
What's that?
Because I've traveled around a lot, could I make a roll for like what Sebastian's looking into?
Yeah, I mean, Sebastian, if you'd like to share this with other people, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I think Sebastian would, just as he's like kind of pondering and contemplating the symbol, just kind of mutter, "It's like we have to go back."
Arcana, investigation, history.
For you, it's gonna be Arcana or history. Make your choice.
Well, they're both meh.
Yeah.
9. Yeah,
You
thought so.
You don't know anything beyond what Sebastian knows. In fact, you're learning things about this. Because he's telling the group, what, or I assume he is, what he knows about it.
Well, my thought, what I'm imagining playing out is Sebastian just kind of looking at it, just like ominously, like we need to go back.
Well, of course we need to go back. I figured that was the plan from the get-go. We're just...
Yes, but we really need to go back sooner rather than later.
Fair enough.
I don't know. Look, I don't know what the old ones is, whatever they're brainwashed by, but if there's anything related to this symbol, from at least what I know, I feel like the implications of this could be, well, groundbreaking, but also I worry it could be incredibly dangerous.
Yeah, we didn't see any of that symbol. Oh, I know Draconic too. What do you know?
Nice.
We didn't see that symbol anywhere, did we? Like when we were snooping around? Okay, didn't think so.
It was nowhere.
So we never, we hadn't seen it, but it was in the book where Sebastian found it. It did say old ones.
Yeah, your connection is that underneath that symbol it does say the old ones. That's the first time you've seen that symbol. You have heard of the old ones because of the people you've fought. There's been no indication of them otherwise.
And the note for the old ones. So make connections here,
Yeah.
Like like what's his face from Always Sunny? I mean, he's got the board with
Charlie.
the strings all attached. Yeah.
Yeah.
Leo just kind of lets out the, ugh, I hate cults. Yeah, anyways, there's a lot of bullshit about this. It smells. I don't like the smell of it. We should probably. I'm gonna check that bulletin board, see if there's anything interesting that sticks out that sounds, might lead to cultists or bandit attacks or something. You guys should probably head to the Traveler Guard and say, hey, cult shit, help?
All right.
Or something. I don't know. I guess you'll figure it out with them. I'll separate for now. Because I don't want to get tangled up with those asshats again.
That sounds good. We can.
Sounds reasonable.
Right. What are your plans as he looked towards our small friend?
Mine. What are my plans?
Are you coming with us, or do you wish to go with Leo?
I'll tag along.
Okay.
I'll tag along.
Alright. Then... yeah, it might help if more of us are express concern about this rising cult to them.
Yeah.
Might put a little bit more urgency behind their step.
Doubtful, but we can always try. That's That's why I figured, mention it to them. See if they'll actually do anything. Not like they will without coin to get off their asses, but whatever.
It never hurts to try there, Leo. Don't be pessimistic about it.
You can
If they
always
want
tell them that there's
payment-
loot there.
If they want payment, I can sing them a song.
If you can sing a song that'll get them to help us, by all means, go ahead.
I imagine it must have to be quite the song.
I mean, some of my songs are quite killer. If you catch my drift.
Just gonna squint.
Guardian was also squinting at.
You see everyone glaring at this little gnome, just kind of like shrugging.
That's anyway. So what you need to do, Leo, and we'll reconvene with you back at the. What would be a good place for us to find you?
Shayna's place, the tavern. We'll meet up back there.
Gladly.
We'll get another meal, probably some extra drinks, and head to bed, then probably sit back off tomorrow for cult extermination, if you're all around for that.
Actually, it may... I mean, I don't want to put any more weight on him than has already been placed on him, but Heb maybe not a bad idea to ask him some questions before we leave.
That's part of the plan. I figure we can do that tomorrow before we head off.
Of course.
It would be better for him to, sleep in a nice warm bed after what he went through. It let his mind relax instead of, reliving the horrors immediately, sort of a thing.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Yeah. We don't want to cause him any more stress or anything along those lines.
Stress can't kill you.
Yep, I'm sure it can.
So the group steps out of the party hall the old folks are still playing their game, and you all have a bit of knowledge that you didn't have before. Leo stays behind at the bulletin board, I believe, and
Yeah.
okay. The rest of the town, or the rest of the group, heads south in the town towards the building where the Traveler Guard is stationed. For those of you looking at the map, that is where the T in south of Southtown is. That is the building where they are occupying.
Okay. Birds. Hmm.
So the group heads down, and it's a fairly small building, very basic longhouse, mud walls, thatched roof, with some wooden supports keeping up the walls that you can see that are exposed, and there's a simple wooden door to the outside, and above the door is a sign that has a sword and a wheel next to it.
Should I lead the discussion about this, or do one of you wish to give it a go?
I suppose I'll take the lead here.
Okay. If you want to, of course. I don't typically know how to really deal with this sort of. I mean, I've dealt with travelers before. Just not. I'm not sure how these people are going to respond.
I suppose we'll find out.
No. Kind of follows. Kind of let the tough rain take lead. Good old Sebastian.
Or Seabass for short.
Seabass.
Seabass.
Seabass, that's a cute nickname.
Okay. Is there? I mean, I mentioned there's. I don't know. Is there like someone like a receptionist or something they have?
Yeah. So you both open the door, or the three of you open the door, and it's nighttime. There's people in bunks in a room behind you, behind the person at the front. They're just sitting in a chair next to a fire. One of the central hearths, like the tavern has. There's smoke rising up. They're just kind of sitting there, boots up on a stool, and it's one of the mercenaries. They're in their armor, like not heavily armored, it's just like leather armor. But, they're just kind of slightly dozing. When they hear the door open, they kind of startle and look over.
There goes my plan.
Look down at your shirts.
Yeah, I gotta look down at that remark, or just like kind of give a look of like, what do you?
And just look back. I'm like, apologies, didn't mean to startle.
Yeah, it's late. Is there something wrong? What?
Well, we hear, you are all the sort to, go to for in the, I don't know, dangerous situations. We have uncovered what appears to be some bandit activity nearby, or actually, as it turns out, are the ones responsible for the situation with out of character. What was her name again? That
The tavern owner?
yeah,
Shayna Veduta.
Shayna. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the ones that turns out are responsible for the incident with Shayna's son.
Ah, yes, I heard about that. There's been a bit of a ration on beer in the town. Has this been, well, obviously it's been preventing some travel, as her son, is he alive? Is he...
Yeah, we were
found out.
we were able to recover her son, but
That's good to hear. What can I do for you? Are you,
well, these. I'll just put it bluntly here. Based on some research uncovered, these. There are more of these bandits left. And I
I tried
fear.
to mute and I couldn't get to it.
I fear they may turn out to be some quite dangerous individuals. And well, we were definitely planning to return there, but we could potentially use some helping hands in this endeavor.
Well, seeing as it does affect our imports and exports in this town, we may be able to help, but we don't have many men to spare. We will require payment for any sort of help. That's just kind of how we do things around here. It's how we keep these roofs over our head, and we have a very large network. I'm sure you understand. And
I try and intimidate him into helping.
Oh no.
it's certainly an option. That's, I mean, you do what you
I
want.
would like to try that.
Okay.
So,
What's your game here? What are you gonna do? He hasn't
I-
said no, by the way.
I mean, yeah, they were saying they'll help. It will just need payment.
You don't even know how much payment.
don't want to pay.
It could be a coin. I don't know. It could be
I just
one
don't
gold piece.
want us to pay. Like, one gold piece is too many, in my opinion.
Sebastian kind of like put his hand on our mouth, and push like Saoirse back. Just behind them.
The old stand in front, put your hand on their forehead, outstretched arms so they can't swing at you, kind of thing.
Sure, something like that. Just push them like back behind. From what we encountered, there does seem to be likely quite a few valuables there. I don't know. Perhaps those could suffice as payment.
What kind of valuables? Have you seen metals, gold, tools, anything like that? We don't much care about food.
Metals, unlike any that I've seen. And I've seen quite a few metals in my travels. I mean, I am an
Turns his
archaeologist by
chair-
trade.
He turns his
There
chair
was
more
an
to
actual steel door.
Reminder that Leo is not in the room.
Somebody hear that? What is that? Is that the wind? Must have been the wind.
Must have been
Must have been the wind.
Must have been wind.
Quite breezy out there, huh?
I gotta cool it on the jet.
I was like, if any point you want Guardian to step in, she can step in.
I mean, Guardian can step in whenever she feels like.
Yeah, you ever just have a conversation? It's all good.
Yeah.
It's your playhouse there. If Delilah wants to, make the guild
Yeah.
angry and initiate combat at midnight.
Please don't. Please.
Would rather not. Guardian will kind of step in and go. I mean, we did find some stuff down there that at least we had never seen before. They use these individuals seem to have access to quite different material than anything any of us had ever seen before. It's certainly stood out, to say the least. We had checked out. We tried to check it out a little bit by ourselves, but we only got as far as to helping retrieve retrieve someone that was taken, but we figured to let you all know to maybe participate in helping us out. We do plan to go back there. It's just more of the fact that whether we get help or not would be appreciative.
They're strength members after all.
Well, with promise of unique unknown metals, it does kind of intrigue me a bit more. I may be able to spare 3 men. They will each cost you 2 gold pieces each to join you.
Okay. Who wants to?
I mean, that's doable to me. I don't know.
I mean, Guardian has the money.
Yeah.
Do you want to? We can have it. So that would be 3 men, 2 gold, 6. So each of us could play 3.
Yep.
Sounds good.
It's total of 6. So yeah.
Yeah, no, that's why I'm doing the math. But yeah,
Okay.
Guardian will hand Sebastian 3 for gold.
And Sebastian will take that 3 gold and then his 3 gold and drop it in the dude's hand. And there
That's
you
my
are.
language. My men will be able to join you in the morning if you would like them to. We can do it the next day, but I can't hold them beyond 2 days.
That should be more than enough time.
Sounds
be
good.
more-
Well met, travelers. I need to get back to my duties, as it were, and it is late after all.
Indeed.
Thank you for your time.
Oh, and another thing. We
Hmm?
do reserve the right to take at least half of that metal.
Of course, I personally don't think any of us have any use for the metal, but go for it.
We will put it to good use if we can.
Good.
And he sits back down in his chair and goes back to what he was doing.
Heck yeah.
Sebastian, just as he turns around and leaves, just kind of does that, I don't know, face.
She kind of puts a hand on Sebastian's shoulder. It's like, he'll be fine.
Leo,
Oh wait,
go ahead.
oh shit.
I was just gonna say,
Are those 3 men gonna recognize Leo if we bring them along?
that's an interesting question, isn't it?
Oh shit.
Only one way to find out.
Uh-oh.
It's kind of mixed. They aren't fully aware of my new appearance, as far as I'm aware.
I'll figure it
true.
out.
Last time they saw me, I had, a full head of hair. Leo did, anyways.
And probably 2 arms.
No, yeah, that too.
Let's just say we've skipped along a bit. As they were talking, they met up with Leo at the tavern. The group walks in and sees him at the table, and that previous conversation that we just had was spoken between them when they showed up. You are all now sitting at that table. Leo, you have the floor.
Oh, he wanted to check the bulletin board. He's looking for info. Anything like missing persons, missing supplies, information on if there's any like major bandit attacks, looking for info that seems like it could like point culty.
For sure. There is nothing from what you see. what you do see is an advertisement for workers to come join the spring planting season in Illumat, which is eastward over the hills. And you do see fishing jobs as well opening up in Aronia, which is to the west on the coast.
Okay.
Over the hills and far away.
Yeah.
Ooh. Ronia. That's the seaport place, right?
It is indeed a seaport. It's a region called Aronia, Oronia, or Oronia.
Gotcha.
Illumat is over the hills and into the desert.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I mean, once we're
Uh,
done here, we should definitely take some time by the sea.
So yeah, they're basically job postings show up here for people to travel and go work and make some extra cash. Resources, more like, but you know.
But yeah, there wasn't anything like anything that stood out.
Other than there is one for Tab, but that's it. So.
Yeah, he takes that one down like, well, glad you're home safe, Tib. And then he will make around, keeping his distance from a certain place, but he's going to kind of poke outside the place where his sister's working.
Yeah.
Not, enter or anything, because it's probably closed or closing, and she's probably not even there.
Yeah, she's not.
And then he'll swing by Auntie's place, just to, check the liveliness, like, how high-spirited it is there, or, not spirited at all, if anything.
There, for those that want to know where Auntie's place is, that is, I don't have a marker for it yet, but on the map, bottom, or to the left, like towards the bottom, there's this big trapezoidal shaped building. It's like there's the river, and then there's two L-shaped buildings, and then a larger one next to that. That is Auntie's brothel. So,
I don't know if you gave it a name or not.
I didn't. I was gonna leave that to you.
Checking out the brothel, nice.
Yeah. Do you go in?
There's reasons.
Do you say hi? What's going on there?
He'll do that later.
Okay.
He's nervous about it, so he's like, he'll like poke his head like out a window, like looking, but nothing that'll give him away, and like, he has his problems.
Yeah, it's definitely warm and cheerful inside. You can hear music playing. People are definitely working and having a good time. Just kind of seems as it always is.
Okay.
Working.
It's good work.
All kinds of working.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Working hard or working hard?
We support our sex workers here.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. After, poking his head in there, he'll head back to Shayna's and sit in his quote-unquote designated corner.
And this is where we bring it up to the scene from earlier, where everyone joins and you're now sitting together at that table.
So they give you a good price, at least for the most part. It's not like it's a great price, but 2 gold, 4 gold, 2 guys.
Oh, compared to prices I've come across in the past with
4 gold for
mercenaries,
2
not bad
guys.
at all.
Worst case scenario, there'll be meat shields,
Indeed.
That's a bit of a crude way to look at it. But
And if you are worried about them recognizing me, one, I don't know who the two of them are. They might be, newbies
it
coming
was
in.
3, right?
It's 3.
Was it 3?
Three.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's three.
Yeah, it's 3.
If you're worried about them recognizing me, the chances are kind of They haven't identified me specifically with how I am now, as far as I'm aware. They haven't done so. And, like, there's a chance they'll recognize me, but I don't think it's... when you meet up with them, you'll meet me outside of town.
Yeah.
They won't have any backup outside of town, so, they'll have to run back and say, like, we found Leo and all that other shit. So, like, tomorrow we'll talk to Teb, pick up the extra meat, and I'll meet you outside of town.
If I mean, it might be it would be nice at some point if we were somehow, I'm not sure fully how it works, but maybe it would be some point it might be a good idea for us to have a way for you to better disguise your appearance. And she kind of casually like uses disguise stealth to like shift into like his form and then shifts back real quick. Something like that would be. If I could figure out the way to do that.
Unfortunately, I'm not sure the rest of us have that ability. That would very much come in handy, but
that's what I'm saying is if I could figure out how I was able to get this ability, it clearly has something to do with the egg. Perhaps maybe I can find a way to confer it to at least you, Leo, so we can resolve any sort of discrepancy in terms of appearance if it's going to be a problem.
That's, if it's going to be a problem.
Of course. I mean,
Reminder,
worst case.
you do still have a bounty, and that is among the entire guild, which does roam Zocheclgoth.
I was about to go, if I had more money, I could just make him spell scrolls for this, but that's expensive.
Yeah, we can't. We're level 2.
Yeah, and I think we're making a
No, when I do this, you don't.
that's Leo's disguise.
It's better than that, but yeah.
I was about to go because if I remember.
Because his disguise is his
about that
current
moment.
appearance.
That's so good.
But yeah, his disguise, if we'll call it, is his current appearance, because as far as he is aware, they don't know that, he came back, super fucked up and, scarred to hell and missing an arm. Plus all the other stuff.
Things.
Yeah, he's fairly unrecognizable.
50 to 100 gold for level 1 spell slot.
Ugh.
Yee.
What?
For crafting a spell scroll.
Ew.
Yeah.
Maybe someday.
I get it, but it's disgusting. But,
is there anything else you four would like to do here, or just chatting plans for the next day, or more food or beer?
Definitely more
More
food.
beer.
Definitely more beer.
More beer all the way.
All right.
I know it's I think at some point, I think Guardian would want to have a little conversation with Sebastian about something.
Right on.
If
Oh,
okay.
So Shayna's been bringing food and beer to you all. There's bread, there's fish, there's something like rice. There's grains. Everyone just various veggies. Some of the stuff is what you brought back. You did bring back some carrots and potatoes, and she served up some of those. And you're all just kind of relaxing, celebrating. Some of the people in the tavern are joining you. Happy to see times return.
Yeah. Whenever get a moment, Guardian is gonna maybe pull Sebastian aside for a moment, just to if she gets him alone for a moment, it's just like,
Sure.
Would you like to go to a room? I'm kidding.
not like that.
I mean, you could if you wanted to talk privately, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
I didn't mean it like that. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. No, I figured. It's all good. Yeah.
He'll still start thinking about the brothel.
Yeah. Yeah, if they're somewhere quiet, she kind of like obviously brings her backpack with her, and when they get somewhere quiet, she'll put it down and kind of open it back up and pull the egg back out again and just go. So, oh shit!
I'm sorry, that's so loud.
It's fine.
Scared me.
It just kind of startled him.
What? That audio file's loud. So
Yeah.
you've gone off to a quiet corner while people are like celebrating and drinking and eating and stuff. You pulled the egg and
For those who are curious, I posted some art of the original what Leah kind of looked like a while back.
nice.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
What a dapper looking lad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, minus the ridiculous facial hair.
Very, very suave.
Yeah. Yeah, she'll pull the egg out and kind of set it down carefully, and she'll talk to Sebastian. Go. I do know that, from what I can tell, you definitely seem more of the scholarly type than the rest of us, and I figured, I know I've showed you this thing before, but I was hoping to have a bit of a request from you, if it's not too much.
Alright.
I've been, well, my duty is to learn what this is, as well as gain any sort of insight and protect it. And seeing as that most of the, it's not that I don't trust the other party members, it's just more the fact you seem more keen on this skill set, and I was hoping to maybe discuss it with you about if we come across any more wells of knowledge or any more books and research, if perhaps you might be willing to help me figure out what this is. Obviously, I know it's a egg of some sort, but to what creature I do not know. Clearly, it has some unique property, seeing as it seems, due to just being around it, it has changed me a bit, as she resummons kind of like the dragon claw hand. Because, again, not until I've picked up this quest of figuring out what this is, I was able to do anything like this.
Oh, you know I can never pass up a good discovery.
I mean, and she'll pull out the scroll and show it to him, and goes, got a somewhat of a start. It doesn't tell much, but got something. She'll kind of show him the contents of the scroll with the written word and depiction on it.
Just to note, Sebastian is not. Well, actually, I don't know. Would Sebastian know Draconic? I mean, I know it's not in his languages, but just like based on like research and studies and stuff in the past, there's like the possibility that he might have come across Draconic text and
He
might
doesn't-
know a little bit.
He doesn't know Draconic, but Guardian does and can translate it for you.
I think the question was more of, has he seen like the iconography before? Like, may not understand it, but has seen it before.
Yeah, he's seen Draconic, but he hasn't studied it. He doesn't know it. So
Right. So I would recognize it as Draconic, but I wouldn't know what it says.
correct. It's like you
Got
know
it.
of the language. It is a language that people use. It's not very common, but it's there.
Yeah, Sebastian was kind of looked down at the scroll. It's in Draconic.
Yeah, I never. I know a few people in the tribe that knows how to speak it, but I just woke up one day after carrying this burden, just seemingly being able to know how to read it. I can speak it as well, but I'm not sure if that has to do with the egg or something else.
That's quite a good question. What exactly does it say?
Family. And she'll kind of roll up the scroll and kind of put it back and go. Not fully sure what it all means, but maybe it's a clue in figuring out truly what this thing is.
I want to say like I know, but like I don't want to be metagamey about it.
You can make the inference of what you are seeing, and that it would be fine for you to like take a rough
Okay.
guess at what it might
Yeah.
be. Yeah.
Sebastian was just kind of looking at her, just like, well, my guess, based on Draconic family, I could imagine two things. Either one, it's some sort of family heirloom, or two, it could be a dragon egg.
She kind of looks at it and then kind of looks back at him and goes,
Hold up for a second. To be clear, people don't know how dragons are born because the dragonborn you do know are not born via eggs. No one has really seen a dragon in a super long time, so you don't know if they lay eggs. But like if
Yeah.
you
That's why she kind of like,
yeah.
you've seen
Well,
birds
like
though, so
Sebastian-
it could be
well,
like
like
inferred that
Sebastian's,
maybe
like-
a dragon lays eggs. I don't know.
Yeah, that's like my thinking. Like, if it's Sebastian's like history knowledge, would he maybe have like be able to like infer that?
Yeah, I would say he could. Sure.
yeah, that's why she like gives him a look, because again, there's probably a few dragon born in the Cornova, but she's kind of like looking at him like, I don't think they lay eggs.
Yeah, exactly. Carry on.
But Sebastian would be aware the dragons have existed.
Correct. Yes, and that's
Okay.
general knowledge. Some people believe them as myths. Some people don't believe them. Some people have evidence that they exist. That sort of thing.
Well, I don't mean egg from a dragonborn, because yes, I don't believe dragonborns give birth that way.
I
But-
don't think so either.
But a not a dragonborn, but a dragon.
Fun fact, it's actually both.
What?
Dragonborn give live birth and egg birth.
Trell. This is the lore of this
Sorry.
world. It is not the Forgotten Realms or.
Sorry.
Thanks.
Anyways,
Well, I mean,
I mean,
honestly, at this point, any possibility is a possibility. And from what my tribe mates have said, they, from what most of the tribe knows, I know there were legends of them, but I don't think anyone fully accepts them as nothing more than fairy tales and story.
Well, there's been plenty of other things that some may have thought were just myths or stories that turned out to be grand discoveries.
Then she kind of look with hand on the egg, kind of looking at it. Just kind of, she seems to kind of like run her hand across it a bit. If it is such a creature, then maybe this might be a sign of something, a blessing, a curse. Who knows?
Cannot say.
Maybe. Dean.
All I know is, well, the signs point to that possibility. I mean, if it is any sort of egg, it's definitely much more hardy than any egg that I've seen from any other creature. It's almost it feels as tough as obsidian. I'm not sure of any other creature that would lay an egg that's feels like obsidian.
I mean, in most of the stories I've heard of dragons, I cannot say. Again, the stories range from all sorts of things, being able to destroy mountains to just simply being the size of a palm and being friendly and thus, but I cannot. If it turns out to be a dragon, like you said, is there anything that you might know that might tell us what kind of dragon it may turn out to be? Well, I mean, the stories I've heard, there's no consistent thing about them.
DM.
I'm sorry. Was texting things with Tro. Can you give me a synopsis? I am so sorry.
Basically asking Sebastian if there might be anything he's heard text-wise about identifying what kind of dragon, like hypothetically identifying markers for what kind of dragon might reside in an egg like this. Like, obviously, like, if there was... Yeah.
I get it. If there were... You don't really... There's no, like, confirmation that they do lay eggs, nor have you heard of any dragons that are made of obsidian, or, like, if they were to be in an egg. But you don't know if there were a type of dragon, you haven't heard of this one.
Obsidian dragon does sound dope AF, by the way.
Indeed.
That's the intention.
That does sound pretty dope. Well, then I guess the answer would be no. Alright.
I know, again, maybe perhaps if this thing does inevitably hatch, no matter, depending on how long that might be, perhaps we could might I ask of you and maybe the rest of the companions at some point to maybe assist me with this. If it is a creature of legend, I'm not 100% sure how I would be able to fully take care of such a thing by myself. I've not really helped in rearing any kids, let alone a creature from legend.
Yes, I imagine that'd be quite a bit more than just raising any child. Be quite a monumental task. I mean, I would be more than interested.
I mean,
I cannot speak for the rest of the party, though.
that's why I figured to ask you first. You seem to be more knowledgeable about these sorts of things, and perhaps this might be something that might have interest you. As she picks up the egg and puts it back in her backpack. I mean, I thank you for at least letting me ask such a thing from you, and I know it's a bit unorthodox, and we don't haven't known each other for a long time, but I do believe in dealing with such a thing like this is a bit of a communal thing that at some point we all might have to deal with, especially if there's a potential youngling running around.
Indeed, that would definitely make things more difficult. Say, where did you say you came across this artifact again?
I was going through an initiation to join the hunters of my tribe, and me and a couple of others were going about our usual hunting grounds, and we had just found it. It was just out in the middle of nowhere, no signs of anything leaving it. It just seemed to almost fallen from the sky almost. And we weren't sure where it was, so we took it back to our tribe, and around that point I decided to dedicate myself on discovering what this thing is.
That was definitely quite the odd situation.
Yeah. It hence why I'm a bit perplexed what this thing is. If this was some sort of miraculous thing of dragons reappearing or showing up or whatever, this has got to mean something. I don't. The more we can learn about this situation and what have happened, maybe could figure out if maybe this might be some sort of change that is coming to this land or not, or if it's something that can certainly affect my people, it would affect obviously those around as well.
Indeed.
I think while we're out and about, it might be best to soak up any information that we can, and of course I'm going to. I'll do it too. I'm not asking you to do all of the grunt, but just more of a. If you see anything, do let me know.
Of course.
She kind of gives a warm smile and retracts the kind of like the dragon claws back to her normal hand. She goes, "Thank you. That's all that I really ask." She goes, "We might want to return to our friends and make sure they don't think that we decided to go off and leave them out on any sort of merriment or joy."
As you say that, Teb actually walks up to you both, carrying two pots of beer, and holds them out and says, "Hey, you two, come join us. You're being all secretive and weird. I'd like to toast you two."
Of course. Apologies. I merely just wish to discuss something private with my friend here.
Oh, that's totally fine. And he's visibly drunk. And he just hands them to you and just kind of saunters off.
Yeah. She takes a little bit of a drink. Go. Come, let us join our friends. As she'll leave the backpack where it is for now, but she's making a full mental note of where it's at.
Okay. You leave it kind of at one of the tables near the wall.
Yeah. If it's at a table, she's making sure she has constant eye contact on it all the time.
For sure. Shayna walks up to the four of you and says, "Well, darlings, I know that we're all kind of celebrating right now, and but if you'd like rooms, I've cleared and cleaned 4 rooms for the lot of you. You're welcome to put your stuff in there or go to sleep or whatever you need to do. Here are some here's some snacks and enjoy." She kind of indicates you leaving your stuff over at the table.
Of course, very much appreciated.
Very much
Great.
appreciate.
And she goes and joins her son and the other townsfolk.
Good to see Ted appears to be enjoying his time back home.
Yeah. Hopefully he doesn't get carried too much away with drinking.
He'll be fine.
It is a good time to be enjoying, so let us enjoy ourselves then.
Yeah, you guys doing okay? You guys, went off the top for a little bit. Just curious if everything was alright.
Of course, just discussing personal matters as well.
Ah, gotcha. No worries. Yeah, let's drink. Come on. You guys are behind.
Woo! Alcohol!
Woo! Alcohol.
I mean, she's already. How many is that one? That one's like the 6th, I think.
For Shirsha? Yeah, probably.
Cheersha.
Yeah.
Definitely my second. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Yeah.
Oh, it appears we have some catching up to do.
Indeed.
Yous do, I don't.
I don't keep up with other people. Leo's only had like 3 at most.
Leo walks to the BE drums himself.
Yeah.
The 4 of you, are there any other activities you want to do, or are we closing down for the night? Everyone's heading into their beds, or let's say some time has passed. It's probably closer to 2 a.m. now.
Yeah, bedtime.
I was about to go, yeah. I think after a bit of drinking with the friends and stuff like that, if she can, if there was, I think she might, after a bit of drinking and stuff like that, eventually try to look for any members of her tribe if they're in town, and if not, just go to bed.
There are no
I'd
Carnova
say
in the top.
Saoirse
Mm.
is going to drink until she passes out.
Yeah,
Saoirse-
while Saoirse is probably busy dancing on all over the tables and stuff, Sebastian would probably just be heading to a room and just kind of contemplating over his notes until he finally knocks out.
You
Once
enter the room. It's rather small. It does have a door. It's separated by thin. Well, it's like logs cut in half, essentially, so not super thin. and the floor is still gravel, but there is a small rug tossed over it. There is a bed in the corner. It's just a pile of fresh straw with a pillow that looks suspiciously similar to the seats in the bar, the seat cushions. And there's a small
Sebastian's
table.
gonna smell it before he goes to lay down.
It's clean.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah. Why reinvent the wheel? There's a table in the corner and some hooks on the wall for you to hang your things. It's a very simple room. There's a candle on the table. And a pile of blankets at the foot of the bed.
Once our small friend drinks herself into a stupor, Guardian is going to take her to her room.
Okay.
And to make sure she's nice and comfortable.
Throws me over her shoulder.
Effectively.
The small gnome is tucked into the bed with one of those nose bubbles as she sleeps and snores.
Yeah, and whenever Guardian goes to bed, she would probably pull out the egg and probably
Ponder
sleep. She would probably be asleep with the egg.
Now that you know it is an egg, you're
Yeah.
thinking about it in a very different way.
Yeah. I mean, it's comfortable in her. Like, she makes sure it's comfortable in the backpack, knowing it's an egg. It's just more of this is just kind of like if she has a more permanent place to like lay down, she'll snuggle with the egg.
Sure. Okay. Everyone, roll a long rest if you'd like. You all fall asleep, full bellies, drunk. You have pleasant dreams. It's now morning, and you hear murmuring and chatting and stuff in the bar. People are having breakfast and doing whatever. There's birds chirping outside. You do have windows, but they are wooden and they don't have any sort of glass or anything like that. So if it's open, it's cold. If it's closed, you can't see. So.
Yikes. It is the big, but yeah. I guess put the egg back after snuggle and get ready for the day and wait for the rest of the party to show up.
I think I'm gonna call that for tonight. Since we were all messed up with our unless you guys want to keep going, but I figure this is a nice spot to stop. Since we had all those technical issues and
it is 10 to 6 in the morning.
yeah. I always try and stop around 10, so I don't want to like push you farther.
Yeah, no,
one of our players is in a much different time zone, so where it's a
Oh,
balancing act.
significantly.
Yeah. And she's a trooper for it.
Love
So-
I
you,
don't sleep at
Dal.
all. I don't sleep at all.
sleep is fucked up.
It's okay. It's okay. I don't think any of us here sleep either.
No,
At
genuinely.
least I know I don't.
During the whole me getting my character blackout drunk, I was told to sleep not once, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times.
Nice. Thank you all for putting up with our technical difficulties. For those watching,
It's fine.
I appreciate you. We'll be streaming this again in 2 weeks. Same time. I will definitely spend time with the computer the day before just to make sure there's no issues. That'll be at 6:15 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. This is Zotian Epoch, and have a good night.